Hello everyone. Today I am here to discuss with you calibration as an important aspect in pharmaceutical industry. Student, we have already discussed about validation. Okay. In this presentation I am going to discuss with you calibration. Okay, can you recall concept of validation? Validation nothing but it is a documentary evidence. Okay, in this presentation we will discuss about calibration. Okay, so first we will see definition of calibration. Calibration nothing but it is a comparison between reference standard and the instrument to be calibrated. Okay, so there is a reference standard is available against which we are calibrating our instrument, that is called as calibration. So the whatever reference standard material we are using for calibration should be calibrated according to ISO IEC 17025. Okay, so what is the goal of calibration? Why we need to do calibration? So first objective of this calibration is to minimize any measurement uncertainty by ensuring the accuracy of the test equipment. Okay, so this calibration provide assurance that your instrument will work. Okay, that means it will build confidence in the mind of operator. Yes, my instrument is calibrated, so I will get accurate result by using this equipment or by using this instrument. Okay, then second goal is calibration qualifies and control errors or uncertainty within measurement process to an acceptable level. So whatever uncertainty may be arise in future, that can be minimized by using calibration. Then third objective or third goal is to determine whether equipment is still fit for its intended use. Okay, so equipment is calibrated nothing but it is a fit for our purpose. Okay, if it is not calibrated, then you will not get correct result. That means it is not useful for analysis or for any work. Then where you can calibrate your equipment or instrument, either you can calibrate your equipment in first, second or third party laboratory. Okay, so you can use laboratory of different parties. Then you can calibrate your instrument in the accredited calibration laboratory. That laboratory may be a accredited laboratory of manufacturer or the supplier laboratory. So you can calibrate your instrument in these places. Okay, then next point is basic requirements of calibration. So what are things required for calibration? First we need location. That location should be permanent. Okay, if we are using some instrument like HPLC, so that HPLC should be mounted in QC lab and that location should be permanent. Okay, then environment. Then during calibration you should adjust per optimum humidity, temperature, airflow, filtration, noise level, vibration, cleanliness level, proper power supply and calibration areas which are specified by the manufacturer. Okay, and according to that you need to install your instrument in that particular area and then calibrate that instrument. Calibrated nothing but we are just comparing our result with the result given by the manufacturer, or you can compare your result with the reference standard result. Okay, then another requirement we need, that is a equipment. So we need reference standards, different working standard, accessories, computer system and software while calibration of any instrument or equipment. Then who will calibrate? Obviously staff. So next requirement is we require staff. That staff should be a responsible and well trained, and that should have proper knowledge or competency in that area. Okay, then we require management system. For what purpose we require management system? First, to maintain proper document and to maintain proper calibration required. So these are the basic requirements while or before we want to do calibration. First, location, The next point is types of calibration. So there are three types of calibration: electrochemical calibration, non-electrical calibration, and on-site calibration. So first one is electrochemical calibration. The electrochemical calibration means it is a calibration of electronic devices like resistors, capacitors, which are required during calibration. Okay. Then next, non-electrical calibration means here we are calibrating our some units like mass, then pressure, temperature, that is called as non-electrical calibration. Then next one is on-site calibration. So on-site calibration means calibration of instrument and equipment used for qualitative analysis. Okay, so whatever equipment or instrument needed in manufacturing department or in QC laboratory, that should be calibrated. So that calibration type is called as on-site calibration. So these are the three types of calibration. The next point is purpose or importance of calibration. So there are different purposes for the calibration of instrument or equipment. So main purpose is to maintain accuracy and precision of test equipment at all times. Okay, if your instrument is calibrated, so that will give assurance that you will get accurate and precise result by using same or calibrated equipment. Then it is used to detect, correlate, report, or eliminate any variation in the accuracy of the equipment being calibrated. So you can minimize errors by the calibration. If like your pH meter, if it is not working properly, if there is any fluctuation in result, in that case you need to calibrate your pH meter. So after calibration, whatever errors was there, that will be minimized by using calibration and you will get accurate result. Then next purpose is component and equipment can degrade due to changes in temperature or humidity or sustained mechanical stress, and this process is called as drift. Then test result become unreliable. So drift cannot be eliminated, it can be detected and either corrected or compensated by the process of calibration. See, we are using different equipment or instrument in manufacturing facility. So for that, for the manufacturing of such equipment, we are using different materials like stainless steel. And then you can use tin, lead, iron. Okay, so that material may be degrade due to the temperature and humidity. After some period of time, there may be a erosion of that material. There may be a corrosion. Okay, so due to that, you will not get accurate result, and that process is called as drift. So due to the drifting, you will not get reliable result. So how can you eliminate this drift? Either you need to detect or correct that drift by using calibration, so that you will get accurate result. Okay, then third purpose is properly calibrated equipment provide confidence that your product services result meets their specifications. So that means calibration is very important. Without calibration, you will not get good result. You will not get result as per our predetermined specification. The next purpose is calibration optimizes resources, ensure consistency, ensure measurement are compatible with those made elsewhere. That means sometimes we are calibrating our instrument in other facility or at the supplier side. Okay, so that will also give confidence that yes, our instrument is calibrated. That means we will get good result, accurate result. That means it will improve confidence in the mind of manufacturer or in the mind of operator, as well as you can optimize resources according to the calibration. Like suppose if we want to do calibration of pH meter, then for the calibration we need different buffer capsule. Okay, so if frequency of calibration of pH meter is weekly or once in a month. Okay, so according to you can arrange your resources. Resources nothing but capsule, buffer capsule. Okay, so these are the different purposes of calibration. Then calibration frequency. Okay, so this is very important part. At what frequency you should calibrate your instrument? Okay, various instruments are available, but each and every instrument has a different frequency of calibration. So how you can determine frequency of calibration? So for the determination you should consider different points, like first, classification of critical or non-critical instrument. Okay, critical instrument means which is used for critical process, whereas non-critical instrument which are used for non-critical processes. Okay, then uses, whether light or heavy uses. According to that, we can decide our calibration frequency. Handling, light handling or heavy handling. So depending upon that, you can find out frequency of calibration. Then manufacturer recommendation. See, the supplier. Supplier means who is the manufacturing of that manufacturer of that instrument. So that manufacturer has recommended you, that is this is the frequency of calibration. So according to that recommendation you should calibrate your instrument or equipment. Then reference to accreditation body guideline for specific measurement system. Okay, some accreditation like ISO has given some guideline for the calibration of some instrument. So according to that guideline you should calibrate your instrument. Okay, so while selection or while calculation of frequency of calibration you should consider different points. So what are basic criteria for establishing the frequency of calibration? So for that you should consider some of the following points, like manufacturer recommendation, then standard and relevant procedure. Okay, according to standard procedure you have to calibrate your instrument, otherwise you will not get good result, accurate result. Then instrument past behavior. Okay, in your logbook you have mentioned that instrument is working properly, not working properly. Some are just mentioned that is okay, some are not, some are mentioned like not okay. There are some temperature fluctuation, there may be a pH fluctuation. So these history, past performance can decide whether your instrument need to be calibrated or not to be calibrated. Okay, that means past behavior instrument is very important. Then overall impact of non-compliance in the calibration process. If there is fluctuation in pH, in that case you need to do calibration of pH. That means non-compliance. So in case of non-compliance you have to do calibration, and then you can use that instrument for routine purpose. Then previous experience of laboratory technical staff. Okay, if instrument is not working properly, in that case you need to do calibration. So this is depending upon experience of laboratory staff, because they are aware aware about the performance of equipment. If it is not working properly, in that case you need to do calibration. Then critical, so who is responsible for setting or finalizing this frequency of calibration? So critical assessment team is responsible. Critical assessment team shall be responsible for definition and approval of frequency of calibration. The critical process measuring instrument shall be calibrated at least twice a year. So critical means the critical equipment or critical instrument means that are used for critical processes. So such a type of instrument or equipment need to be calibrated at twice a year, like HPLC. Okay, HPLC is very sophisticated. Then different methods to determine calibration frequency. So there are two methods for the determination of calibration frequency. First one is quantitative method and second one is qualitative method. So first we will discuss about quantitative method for the determination of calibration frequency. So in quantitative method, initial frequency of calibration is determined by the product of the three impact factor described by equation. So here equation is OF is equal to WF into FF into LF. Okay, so whatever product or whatever answer you will get, that indicate your calibration frequency. So here OF means overall factor, WF is the wear factor, FF is a frequency of use factor, and LF is a localization condition of factor. Okay, so how will you calculate WF, FF, LF? That we will discuss in next slide. So here is the detailed explanation of wear factor, FF factor and LF factor. So wear factor, if there is more wear and tear in equipment, that indicate high wear factor, that is 9 or 10. So here you can denote scale as a 9 or 10. If wear factor is very low, in that case you can denote scale as a 1 or 2. Same in case of FF. If FF, that is frequency of use, is moderate or low, in that case you can denote this symbol, that is 6, 7, 8, or if your frequency of use is very low, in that case you can denote this factor as a 1 or 2. Same here LF, so whether everyday use or every week, every month. So by the multiplication of all these factors you will get overall factor. Okay, and these overall factor will decide frequency of calibration. So this is the OF factor, calculating by the multiplying different factors, just we have discussed in previous slide. So these are the ranges given for OF value. If OF value is in between 800 to 1000, in that case frequency of calibration is 4 weeks. If OF factor is very less, that is less than 10, in that case frequency of calibration is 156 weeks. That means here you will get answer in a form of some figure. That's why it is called as quantitative method for the calculation of frequency of calibration. Clear to everybody? Then next is the qualitative method for the determination of frequency of calibration. So while qualitative qualitative performance checking, you should consider 3 factor characteristic: intensity and environment. So first factor is characteristic of that instrument, degree of importance of the variables to be controlled to ensure the quality of product to be manufactured, and it can be designed as critical, significant, important, or not special. Okay, so depending upon different process variable. Okay, here some process variable need to be controlled. So depending upon that process variable, you can characterize that instrument as a critical instrument, significant, important, or not special instrument, and according to that you can decide frequency of calibration. Then second term is you can decide frequency of calibration depending upon intensity of use, whether you are rarely using that instrument or quite often or often. So depending upon that use you can calibrate your instrument. Okay, then environment. So loss of calibration due to different operating condition is a critical factor to be considered in the definition of the frequency of calibration. So these factors can be classified as under control, moderate, and aggressive. So according to environmental condition you can decide frequency of calibration. So clear to everybody? There are 2 methods for the calculating frequency of calibration: quantitative and qualitative. Okay, in qualitative, just by physical evaluation you can decide frequency of calibration, whereas in quantitative you need to do multiplication of factors, different factors. So dear student, this is about calibration. So can you find out the difference between calibration and validation? So here validation, nothing but it is a documentary evidence that your instrument will work as per predetermined specific, whereas in case of calibration just we are determining performance or comparing performance of instrument against the reference standard. Okay, so this is the main difference in between calibration and validation. Okay, so thank you for your kind attention.